I mean, I feel like Tolstoy does a lot of like talking about acceptance of death, which was like the one thing that Pierre couldn't accept.
Do it in the Masonic, and even forgets it. And when I give him a list of things he's supposed to do, he conveniently just can't remember which one that is.
Yeah. And like, this is kind of the point where Andre does that. And he just like fully is just like, I don't know, he like understands it, and that's why he can't live. Because he's accepting that, and so he can't go back.
Yeah, he has the epiphany about eternal love, and then coming out of that, he can't really function with the world in the same way, and it's completely detached him from everything that was based in reality, because he felt that he was on his way out, and he felt that he was going to die. He realized that, and he came to terms with it, but because of that, had absolutely no way of dealing with the world.
And couldn't,
Yeah.
and the love for Natasha then is a different thing, right? The
Yeah,
love
well,
for the one woman, the one person.
It just, eternal love transcended everything else, and therefore everything else didn't mean anything to him anymore, and he was just going through the motions because he had to.
I feel like he realized that he couldn't do anything, especially when he was having like these dreams where he was dying.
Oh, wow.
When he would
That's a
wake
great
up and
dream.
he
That was
would just be like,
That's on the other side of the
Yeah,
door.
I feel like-
That comes in and he.
I feel like
Just
it's-
meet him then for a second.
I thought he died for
yeah, because I feel like it's not that he gave up or that he was just going through the motions, like it already had happened in the sense like his body was still there, but he had already died himself, so he just like was living for what he thought. Like everyone in the book does that. They kind of like are trying to impress other people the entire time, and so like on the outside he still has to do that because that's the culture that he lives in.
Andre's death, in a way, is like not as upsetting as his father's. Because, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but like when his dad died, right, it was like so like vivid and like
And
he
very
wasn't
special.
ready.
Very.
And it was just like, what? Like, I don't know, it's just, but then when Andre died, it was like he was ready and he was like if he had lived, he would have just been like weird and not Andre. So it was like time.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the character most closely related to death in all senses, because mostly he's seen his father die, he's seen Elise die, he's almost died twice, and then he finally dies. I feel like he's the closest one to that feeling of death and what it feels like.
I think that Tolstoy, he uses the book, he wrote the book, in my opinion, to show us his views on certain aspects of
Very
life.
much so, yeah.
And I think that he uses each character very specific, like Natasha is like growing up, and figuring out what love is, and Andre is like life and death. Like each character like has his or her own
Pierre's happiness, sadness,
Here's also
life and death.
Yeah, like wealth and like what to do with yourself. Like you know what I mean? Like Natasha as well.
And he has such a strong relationship with nature, more so than most characters. And all of his epiphanies, I mean, most of the epiphanies in the book have to do with nature, but, he sees this tree and, like, thinks about it really deeply, and then sees Natasha and comes back and thinks about it in a whole different way. And, that's foreshadowed for what's happening later, but, just the way he relates to nature and the sky and the trees and all that